Before you guys watch this montage I put together, just remember everything that you're seeing has happened in the last week.
It's generally, it usually happens in financial services where somebody was trying some strategy, a leverage strategy. It's always leverage that does this, or a hedge fund. Hedge funds, a good hedge fund that loses 10 or 20 billion, that's also good for flushing. And that's happened many times before. These are guys that, you know, have never seen this kind of a market, so they set up a position that went awry, couldn't unwind their leverage, and they just get wiped out. And again, you know, I feel sorry for them, but I think it's very healthy when that happens. And the trouble with this correction is it's a slow grind down, 1 to 3% a day.
We tend to always have a robuster market around the time of the midterm election, so that would kind of time in perfectly.
So what's the time frame here? If you say we're going down at least 30% on the S&P, I think we're down about 20% now. When's this over? When are we looking at the other side of this?
So I think the summer is going to be the worst part of this market. As I said on Wednesday, our best estimate right now is fourth quarter or late third quarter is when we're going to start nibbling back into this market, because I think the Fed is going to prove everyone wrong, and they're going to continue to tighten into this slowdown. It is a big mistake, but they're going to do it, and it's going to cause markets to really tumble.
What amazes me is people, as you say, are paying these guys to be much smarter than the rest of us in the room. And look what is happening here. When the markets flip a switch and the tables do turn, that's when, as Buffett likes to say, you see who's been swimming naked as the tide goes out. Well, I know you can't name names, but what types of bets have gone so wrong way that we will start to see some hedge funds that have made those bets maybe go under?
To me, over the last few weeks, the short position on AMC has become more and more of a dead issue for me. I would hate to think I'm over leveraged on a stock that has the potential to cause me a lot of pain. We'll get into that tonight. I also want to discuss the over leveraging and all of the margin that's out there right now, and how timing could be the key to all of this. From what a lot of people are saying, they're looking towards the elections or third and fourth quarter to possibly see a bounce back to the upside. We'll get into that and a whole bunch more. But before we get way too far ahead of ourselves,
cue the speeder. This is the way.
good evening, beautiful people. Guys, what's going on? It's Saturday, June 11th, 2022. Last night, we talked about the hot mess that was CPI data. And all I gotta say is thank God for Joe Biden and this administration. He came out yesterday to tackle the issue. And really, I think just put everyone's mind at ease as far as what he's doing to fix inflation. We're all trying to get a handle on what's going on with the economy. What is the government doing to tackle inflation and everything else that is crushing middle-class America right now? Let's take a listen to what POTUS said about these exact issues yesterday.
Before I begin, I want to say a few words very briefly about the January 6th hearings that were highlighted last night. The insurrection on January 6th, one of the darkest chapters in our nation's history, a brutal assault on our democracy.
So that was my mistake. The press release said he was going to be addressing the inflation concerns. Certainly, by this point, people, I hope you understand, we are on our own. I want to talk about this article from the Washington Post really quickly. It's from May 27th, and the headline is, "As hedge funds stumble, sorry is the hardest word." Say what you'd like about hedge fund manager Bill Ackman. After losing around $400 million from an ill-timed bet on Netflix, he was quick to exit the position in April and own up to his mistake. In the wake of Netflix's disappointing subscriber growth, Ackman said he was no longer able to confidently predict the streaming company's prospects and 100% ready to admit when I'm wrong. If only all the investment community was as willing to disavow dogma when market prices undermine financial theology. The article continues, but not everyone is ready to accept we're not in Kansas anymore. Recanting is hard because the boom in many risk assets was underpinned by faith, techno-optimism, crypto-evangelism, and a conviction that perpetually available cheap money meant forever rising markets. have become deeply ingrained. And that is the truth of it right there, guys. That is where the state of our market is right now. And in case you guys are wondering about Bill Ackman, how is he faring right now? Bill Ackman is probably fine, considering the fact that he made $2.6 billion. And how did Bill Ackman acquire this $2.6 billion? Well, he trashed every basic service industry company, whether it was hotels, cruises, airlines, driving up his own personal wealth while crippling the economy and companies that were already getting crushed. I put somebody's lying on the thumbnail tonight because we're getting two different stories, one from DC, one from New York, and trying to sift through what is propaganda, what is fear-mongering, and what is legit can be frustrating. For the past decade, spraying money at growth stocks, startups, and anything crypto-related was a can't-lose strategy. Suddenly, everybody was an investing genius, and they were handsomely rewarded for it. But the tide of liquidity that inflated those valuations is poised to retreat. Hedge funds are losing money, with Chase Coleman's Tiger Global Management down by more than 40% this year. For startups gobbling up capital without ever turning a profit, Mullen, is no longer a viable strategy. Cash flows, not whizzy growth rates, and flattering adjusted profits matter now. So, Mass, what is the bottom line here? What should we be looking for? What are we looking at? And here's what I'll say. In the last 15 months or so, following this as closely as I have been, everything I see right now is pointing towards some type of pullback. Whether it's going to be a crash, a recession, whatever is coming, I don't know if there's a technical word you can actually associate with it, because I think it's going to be something we haven't seen before. And so I'm left with this dilemma of what do I do? And I think to myself, what other stock is out there right now that I've been holding this long already that has the potential to 10 to 100 times itself, depending on market conditions and what happens going forward? Where else am I going to feel comfortable keeping my money right now without taking a hit because of this out of control inflation that no one wants to deal with or talk about? We're here on what, June 11th of 2022, talking about January 6th of 2021. It's ridiculous. The only thing I can control right now is my portfolio and my platform. And for me right now, in my opinion, my best bet is to keep hanging on to my AMC shares and GME, add to my position when reasonable, and continue to hold. We might not get the perfect market conditions for a MOASS, but the chances to make money here, I think, are still on the table. I think the math we did back in the day was good. It still holds up right now. And I have a lot of faith and trust in this community. I deeply believe in the cause and the fact that we need change in the market for those that are coming up behind us. All right, guys, let's leave it there for tonight. We'll definitely be going live tonight. I'm not sure what time yet, but there'll be a thumbnail up beforehand. Just a quick side note. Yesterday, there was like 30 seconds in commercials on the video. That was not monetized, so Google Ads kept all that money. I didn't get a penny of it, but I apologize anyways about the 30 seconds of commercials that they decided to run. As always, guys, thank you for the likes, the views, the comments, my new subscribers, my OGs. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're here to break the wheel. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian. I'll see you tonight.
Miss Daddy T, Trump. I miss Daddy T, for real. I mean, like, I respected him because he was real about his opinion, even though I didn't always agree with him, but he kept it real with us. We know what was going to happen. Like, things was better. Like, the economy was better.